Hey everyone, and welcome back to the AnzenGuard podcast. I'm Michael Reynolds.
And I'm Laura Wilson.
And we are diving deep today, folks, into split tunneling.
That's right.
It's one of those VPN features you hear about, but you don't really know what it is.
You hear it a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to break it down today.
Yeah, we are. So by the end of this deep dive, you'll understand what split tunneling is,
Right.
why it matters, and whether you should use it or not.
So let's get started by defining exactly what it is.
Well, split tunneling is about having the best of both worlds. The security of a VPN and the flexibility of a regular internet connection.
Okay.
Imagine having two lanes on a highway.
Okay.
One is the Express VPN lane, encrypted and secure.
Right.
The other is the regular open lane.
Uh-huh.
You get to decide which cars your data from different apps or websites go in which lane.
So some of my data is going through this, secret passageway, and the rest of it is just going out on the regular internet.
That is a really great way to put it, yeah. So, think of it like this. With a traditional VPN, everything you do online goes through that encrypted tunnel no matter what.
Right. Okay.
But with split tunneling, you have more control.
Okay.
You can choose to route certain activities through the VPN and let others bypass it completely.
So how does it actually work? Is my computer splitting my data into two streams?
Well, it's not magic, but it is clever engineering.
Okay.
Your VPN software basically acts like a traffic controller.
Right.
When you enable split tunneling, it creates two separate pathways for your data.
Good.
The data you've designated for VPN protection, that gets encrypted and sent through the VPN tunnel. But the data you've chosen to exclude from the VPN takes a detour, it bypasses the tunnel and goes straight to the internet.
Got it. Why would I want to do that, though? I mean, isn't the whole point of a VPN to encrypt everything?
That's a great question. And yes, a full VPN connection is the most secure option.
Okay.
But sometimes it can slow things down.
Oh, yeah.
If you're downloading a large file, trying to stream your favorite show.
Ugh, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, split tunneling can really help with that.
Right.
It lets you pick and choose which activities benefit from VPN protection and which ones can go full speed ahead on your regular connection.
Okay, so for example, if I am downloading a big file, I could send that straight to my computer and let other more sensitive stuff go through the VPN.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
You're keeping your sensitive data protected.
Right.
But you're also enjoying a fast internet connection for things that don't require that extra security.
Cool. So it's not just about speed, though, right? We were talking about accessing local network devices, things like that.
Yeah, that's another great example.
Okay.
Say you're connected to your work VPN, but you want to print something on your home printer.
Yeah.
Split tunneling lets you do that.
Yeah, because that always messes me up.
That's a common issue.
Yeah.
You can tell your VPN to exclude your printer from the tunnel, which allows you to print without disconnecting from the VPN and potentially compromising your work security.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so we talked about a couple of the big reasons to use it, but there are different types, right?
Yeah.
It's not just like one split tunneling fits all.
That's a great point. There are actually a few different ways to set up split tunneling, and each one gives you a different level of control over your traffic.
Okay, so what are the different, what's the first one that we should talk about?
One of the most common types is URL-based split tunneling.
Okay.
So imagine you're browsing the web.
Uh-huh.
You come across a news website you want to check out.
Right.
You're not sharing any sensitive information, so you don't really need the VPN for this specific site.
So I could tell my VPN, hey, send this website straight to the internet. I don't need you to protect it.
Exactly. You're essentially creating a whitelist of websites that can bypass the VPN.
Okay.
It's great for those situations where you want quick access to specific sites without sacrificing security for everything else.
Okay, got it. So what's the next type?
Next up is app-based split tunneling.
Okay.
Think about all the different apps you use on your phone.
Right.
You have your email, your social media, your streaming services, maybe even some work-related apps. With app-based split tunneling, you can decide on an app-by-app basis which ones should use the VPN and which ones can go direct.
Okay.
So you could have your banking app and email use the VPN for maximum security,
Right.
but have your streaming services and games bypass it for better performance.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So what is the third type? We had URL, we had app. What else is there?
The third type is called inverse split tunneling.
Okay.
And it's kind of like flipping the script.
No.
Instead of choosing what to exclude from the VPN,
Uh-huh.
you choose what to include.
Okay, so it's the opposite.
It is.
Okay, got it.
By default, everything goes through your regular internet connection.
Right.
But you can select specific apps or websites that you want to be routed through the VPN tunnel for that added layer of security.
Okay, I'm trying to think of when I would use that one.
Well, it can be useful in situations where you generally trust your internet connection, but want to be extra cautious with certain activities.
Okay.
So let's say you're working on a super sensitive project that involves confidential data.
Right.
You could use inverse split tunneling to make sure that only the apps and websites related to that project are routed through the VPN.
Okay, so it's like a super secure bubble for that one thing.
That's a great way to think about it.
Got it. Okay. Now, we need to talk about security, though,
Yeah.
because we're kind of like we're giving people this tool,
Right.
but it could also be dangerous.
It could. Yeah, it could.
So let's dive into that in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good to me.
All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the AnzenGuard podcast.
All right, so we're talking about split tunneling.
We are.
And like you said, it could be dangerous.
It can, yeah.
So let's talk about security.
Okay, so think back to our highway analogy. The express lane represents your encrypted VPN connection.
Right.
The regular lane is your standard unencrypted connection.
Right.
When you choose to split your traffic, you're sending some of your data out in the open.
So it kind of defeats the whole purpose of a VPN.
Well, it depends.
Okay.
There are definitely times when split tunneling makes sense,
Okay.
and times when you should avoid it at all costs.
Okay, so when does it make sense?
Well, we talked about speed before,
Right.
and that is a major benefit.
Yeah.
So if you're downloading a large software update or you're trying to stream a live event,
Right.
routing all that traffic through a VPN
Uh-huh.
can really slow things down.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get buffering, frustrating delays.
Nobody wants that.
Right. Nobody wants that.
Especially when you're trying to watch something.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so split tunneling can help with that.
It can, yeah.
How so?
Well, you can prioritize speed for those activities by allowing them to bypass the VPN.
Okay.
Your downloads will be faster and your streaming will be smoother.
Got it. What about accessing local network devices? We talked about that a little bit earlier.
Right, that's another great use case for split tunneling.
Okay.
So let's say you're connected to your work VPN, but you need to print something on your home printer.
Right.
Split tunneling allows you to give that printer access to the local network without disconnecting from the VPN.
Oh, that's nice.
So you can multitask seamlessly.
What about like streaming movies and shows?
Ah, yes, the geo-blocking dilemma.
Yeah.
Split tunneling can actually help you with that too.
Really?
It can. So let's say you're in the US,
Uh-huh.
but you want to watch a show that's only available on the UK version of Netflix.
Oh, right, yeah.
You can use split tunneling to route your streaming traffic through a VPN server in the UK.
So I can trick Netflix into thinking I'm in the UK.
Well, it's not really tricking them.
Okay.
Your traffic will appear to be coming from the UK.
Right.
So you can access the content that's available there.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like a virtual passport
It is.
to all the content in the world.
That's a great way to think about it.
All right, so we talked about when it makes sense to use split tunneling.
We did.
Now, when should we definitely not use it?
If you're dealing with sensitive information,
Okay.
stick with a full VPN connection.
Okay, so like what kind of stuff are we talking about?
Online banking, shopping, sending confidential emails,
Okay.
anything that involves personal or financial data,
Got it.
you need that extra layer of protection that only a full VPN can provide.
So it's kind of like with split tunneling, you're like stepping out from behind the VPN shield, right?
Dark.
So you got to be extra careful.
You do.
Yeah.
Think about it like this.
Okay.
Would you walk around a busy city with your wallet hanging out of your pocket?
Probably not.
Probably not.
No.
It's the same principle.
Okay, so no online banking?
No online banking.
No sensitive data?
No.
What about public Wi-Fi?
Another big one to avoid with split tunneling. Yeah, public Wi-Fi is notoriously insecure.
Right.
It's like sending your data through a crowded room where anyone could be listening.
Oh, wow.
So even if you're just checking your email
Uh-huh.
or browsing social media, it's best to keep that VPN shield up
Okay.
and all your data tucked away safely in that encrypted tunnel.
Got it. All right, so for our listener out there, how do they know if split tunneling is right for them?
Well, it really depends on your individual needs,
Okay.
your online habits, and your comfort level with risk.
But
If you frequently download large files or
Okay.
you stream content and you find that a full VPN connection slows you down,
Right.
then split tunneling could be a great option.
Okay.
But if you're primarily concerned with privacy and security, and you use your VPN for things like online banking or accessing sensitive information,
Right.
then sticking with a full VPN connection is probably the safest bet.
Got it. So it's really a personal choice.
It is. Think about how you use the internet on a daily basis. Oh, are there situations where the benefits of split tunneling, like speed and flexibility,
Right.
outweigh the potential risks?
Okay.
Or are your privacy and security concerns more important?
Got it. Got it.
And in those cases, a full VPN connection would be the better choice.
All right. So let's say our listener decides to give split tunneling a try.
Okay.
What's next?
Well, first things first, not all VPNs offer split tunneling.
Okay.
It's becoming more common,
Right.
but it's definitely something you need to look for
Okay.
when you're choosing a VPN provider.
Are there any popular ones that come to mind that do offer it?
Absolutely. NordVPN and Surfshark.
Okay.
Both popular options that provide split tunneling.
Cool.
But keep in mind that the features and the implementation can vary
Okay.
from one VPN provider to another.
So do your research.
Yes, do your research.
Read reviews.
Read reviews.
Maybe even try out a free trial or two.
Exactly.
Before you commit.
Yes. And once you've chosen your VPN, take some time to familiarize yourself with how split tunneling works within their software.
Okay.
Most providers will have instructions and tutorials on their websites.
Got it. Okay. So we've chosen our VPN.
Okay.
We're ready to start splitting our traffic.
All right.
Any other, tips?
Yeah, start small.
Okay.
Don't try to exclude every single app from the VPN tunnel right away.
Right.
Begin by splitting traffic for activities that you consider low risk,
Okay.
like streaming music or downloading files.
Okay, so dip your toe in the water first.
Exactly.
Don't just jump right in.
Right. And as you get more comfortable, you can gradually add more apps or websites to your split tunneling configuration.
Okay, that makes sense. What if I'm having trouble getting it to work, though?
Well, technology can be finicky sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're having trouble getting split tunneling to work with a specific app or website, the first thing you should do is check your VPN provider's documentation or their support website. They often have troubleshooting tips or workarounds for common issues.
Got it.
And if all else fails,
Yeah.
you can always just disable split tunneling for that app or website.
Right. Turn it off.
Turn it off.
No reason to risk it.
Exactly. It's not worth the hassle or the security risk if it's not working properly.
Good point. And I think it's worth reiterating that split tunneling, even though it can be great,
Yeah.
it's not a magic bullet.
It's not.
Online security.
It's just one tool
Right.
in your online security toolkit.
Right. So you still need to practice good online habits,
Absolutely.
like strong passwords and, being careful about phishing emails.
All of those things are still important,
Right.
even if you are using split tunneling.
It's like having a fancy security system but leaving your windows open.
Perfect analogy.
Okay, so to wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
let's recap.
Let's.
Split tunneling can be a fantastic way to enhance your online experience
It can.
by giving you more control over your VPN connection,
Right. It can boost speed.
improve access to local networks, and even help you unlock content from around the world.
But we need to use it carefully.
We do.
Right. Be mindful of the security implications.
Always.
And always prioritize protecting your sensitive data.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to the AnzenGuard podcast.
We've been talking about split tunneling,
We have.
a really cool VPN feature
It is, yeah.
that gives you more control over your connection.
Right, and I think we've covered a lot of ground.
We have, yeah.
So how should our listeners move forward with this?
Well, first of all, don't be afraid to experiment.
Okay.
Split tunneling is all about customization.
Right.
Finding that sweet spot between security and convenience.
So play around with it.
Yeah. Play around with the different configurations.
Yeah.
See how it affects your experience.
Okay, and like you said earlier, start small.
Yes. Definitely start small.
Don't go crazy right away.
Exactly.
Just pick a couple of things.
Yeah. A couple low-risk activities. Right. And see how it goes.
Right, and then as you get more comfortable, you can start adding more stuff.
Okay. Got it. What if, it's not working right?
Well, sometimes technology can be a little finicky. So if you're having trouble, the first thing to do is to check your VPN provider's support resources.
Okay.
They usually have documentation, FAQs,
Right.
even dedicated support teams
Okay.
who can help you troubleshoot.
And if I can't figure it out.
Yeah, if all else fails,
Yeah.
just disable split tunneling
Okay.
for that specific app or website.
Got it.
Oh.
Okay, so we've talked about all the great things about split tunneling.
Right.
But it's not perfect.
It's not a magic shield. It's
Right.
not going to protect you from everything.
Right. So you still need to...
You still need to practice good online habits.
Right. Be smart.
Be smart.
Use strong passwords.
Yes, strong passwords.
Careful about what links you click.
Exactly. All those basic online security practices.
Right.
They still apply.
It's like,
Yeah.
having a great security system,
Yeah.
but leaving your door unlocked.
That's a perfect analogy.
Okay. So to wrap up,
Okay.
our deep dive on split tunneling,
Yes.
it can be a really powerful tool
It can.
to enhance your online experience.
It can, yeah.
It can boost your speed, help you access, different content.
Different content.
But it's important to use it carefully.
Always, yeah.
Be mindful of those security implications.
Be mindful.
All right. Well, I think that's all the time we have today.
It is.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in
Thank you.
to the AnzenGuard podcast.
I'm Laura Wilson.
I'm Michael Reynolds.
Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, like this episode, and leave a comment below.
We love hearing from you.
And be sure to share this episode with anyone who might be interested in learning more about split tunneling.
And VPNs in general.
Exactly. Stay safe out there.